It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the San Francisco 49ers and the Los Angeles Rams. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. Stevens setting up to throw it. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete.
Against a team coming off a win, just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
Here's the first carry of the game for Cam Akers. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Well, this defense for the Niners, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Seattle.
And what keyed their victory? The pass rush. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks. And plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well. Hard to throw the ball downfield when all you're seeing is opposing jerseys come at you.
Throwing is Stevens. He'll get this into the hands of Van Jefferson. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. The Rams are 1-2 through the first 3 weeks of the season. And they got off to the tough 0-2 start, but come off a very important first win of the season last time out.
And it's tough when you find yourself at an early season crossroads, but that's exactly where they were. At 0-2, they were thinking if we fall to 0-3, things can spin out of control. But now at 1-2, they shouldn't feel the need to press out there. They're now back in a good spot, find a way to win some games, and keep moving forward.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Here's Stevens to throw. This one's incomplete.
They are such a talented team at defending the perimeter and taking away throws to the outside. Great confidence, great skill.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now Stevens. And that is incomplete. Oh, he did everything but hold on to it. But a nice play defensively, and now it brings up 4th down. Here's Colby Wadman to punt. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. This will be fielded at the 17. A 41-yard punt, 9 on the return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. Lance and the 49ers now, 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll start with a run by Mitchell. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd down.
In my humble estimation, terrific work there defensively. Running backs trying to get wide, get to the sideline, and they beat him to the spot. Forced him out of bounds, pretty close to the line of scrimmage.
Gets this one to use check. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play. So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Meanwhile, Lance's throw taken in by Samuel. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And he is going to have a Niners first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. First down, here's Mitchell. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They fake the handoff. Now Lance. He's got his man on the crossing route. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 15-yard line. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Up the middle, here's Mitchell. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, here's Mitchell. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A 5-yard gain there makes it 1st and goal. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting the tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup. Mitchell.
Fighting, but he won't get too far. Maybe a yard, that's all, down to the 2. Call it a gain of a couple. The defense stiffening here. It's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Lance now on 3rd and goal. And it'll be intercepted. And the Niners are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line. Wow, so wipe out the INT roughing the passer. What a disaster.
An absolute disaster, and you hope their lockers are not right next to each other for the postgame. Safe to say one is not buying the other dinner.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty. 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it with Davis Price. And across the goal line into the end zone. Touchdown 49ers. Ty Davis Price. His first touchdown on the year. And the Niners are on the board first on the road here in L.A. The extra point by Sly is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game.
Rams, nothing. Mitch Wishnowsky to kick off for San Francisco.
Here is Wishnowsky to boot it away following the touchdown. This is taken just shy of the 10. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Stevens. And he rifles one incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Stevens. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. 3rd and long that time. He was trying to make something happen, but a little too risky.
Well, the field tilted on him, and what I mean by that is what you said, 3rd and long. Got to push it downfield to try and pick up the 1st down. Defensive backs live for this situation, and they took advantage of the young man right there.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. 23 yards, the final tally.
1st down, 49ers.
They run over center with Mitchell. They showed some tough running, but they'll drop him at the 5-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
In motion right is the tight end. Right back to Mitchell on 2nd down. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going.
Touchdown! Brandon Ayuk from 3 yards out. And the 49ers have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Well, on that connection, it looked like they maybe had some pre-play communication. Maybe one of them noticed an area that was open in the defense to get the pass to.
When you put the time in, sometimes you have that great silent communication that you just noticed right there because the best quarterback-receiver combos in the NFL, they know how to make those adjustments at the line of scrimmage when they see something pre-play, and they got it done there.
Mitch Wishnowsky to kick off for San Francisco.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Pulls it in at the 13. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Fred Warner. And the 49ers are going to take possession of the football.
A tough adjustment to the NFL throughout his rookie season, and his problem with turnovers is only exacerbated by his early showing today. That's a couple for him here in this 1st half, and he's cleared the double-digit mark for the entire season.
On the handoff, Mitchell. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 49 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now Lance. And that is incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Throwing his Lance on 3rd down. And he wisely will throw that one away. The LA defense up to snuff in coverage there. Pushes this to 4th down. Sly able to put this one through. And that will extend their lead even further. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they had the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. Wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started, so you know the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Stafford going to give this to Akers. And not much doing there. Maybe a yard up to the 23.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going into the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ambry Thomas. Boy, Charles, that is now 3 interceptions in 3 consecutive drives, and you can see he's just got a look of disgust and bad body language, understandably, as he walks off the field.
And I think it comes from the fact that he's not sure what he sees down the field, Brandon. I don't know if he's seeing ghosts. I don't know if he just can't read defenses. I'm not sure what it is, but that's why he's frustrated. Think about the defense right now. Every time they run on the field, they've gone from hoping to intercept a pass to expecting to intercept passes. Their confidence at an all-time high right now.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. They'll say no gain on the play there. Now it'll be 3rd down. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. To throw, it's Lance. And he's got his man on the crossing route. That's Landry. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
Everything's going right here in this first half, and they've got a good lead. And part of that can be attributed to their success on 3rd downs. This is another conversion here, and they can look to really open things up.
And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. Elijah Mitchell with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the 49ers are able to add on to their first half lead. Now Joey Sly for the point after. And the lead is now 24.
Makes the score Niners 24, Rams nothing. Mitch Wishnowsky to kick off for San Francisco.
Here is Wishnowsky to boot it away following the touchdown. From the end zone, here comes Williams. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
First down 10 at their own 13-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here, because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer, because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Charvarius Ward. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them, and they took advantage of it there. Got a nice interception and set up their offense in great shape.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Right back to Mitchell here. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Elijah Mitchell with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Niners are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. The extra point by Sly is up and good. And the rout is on here in this first half. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Rams take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
32.
On 2nd and 9, Stafford. That's going to be complete on the sideline, but, that throw left him no room to run, and the good footwork nearly all for naught. The offense on 3rd down, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 5. Stafford. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Fred Warner. I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you throw this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
Right back to Mitchell on 2nd down. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it 1 more time to make sure you get in shape.
A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
Field goal unit and Joey Sly now. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. Sly able to put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, they got the turnover in great field position, but unable to do anything with it. And they're left taking the easy 3 on the field goal.
Yeah, you're right about that. A great chance at a short field touchdown. On a sudden change, you take the ball away. You expect your offense to put into the end zone, but they'll take the 3 for now, even if they feel just a little bit let down.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
obviously this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as he'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
To throw is Stafford. Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
A gain of 9 brings up 2nd and 1 at the 49ers 34-yard line.
Looking to throw again on second down. Stafford. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 21. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Stafford. He's got it. It's Higbee. Touchdown Rams. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Rams get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point by McCann. Up and good. And the lead drops from 34 down to 27. McCann's got it teed up. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
At their own 17-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first 2 quarters. Let's get this to the locker room. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting 49ers on top. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And he stopped immediately there. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. And Lance now to throw. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, that's a good piece of quarterbacking right there because he certainly felt the pressure coming. The alternative, getting sacked for the first time. He didn't like that option at all. Did a nice job saving yardage by throwing that one away.
Throwing now is Lance. Looking for Landry, and it's intercepted. And the Rams are going to take possession of the football. Pretty much everything went their way offensively in the first half, but now an interception on the opening drive of the third quarter.
As we know, the key to everything here, don't get careless with the football. The problem is you've got to stay aggressive as well. So where's the line between being aggressive and attacking and being overly aggressive? I think they just crossed it on that one.
And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked off by Fred Warner. This is one heck of an individual performance we're witnessing. That is now his third interception. And keep in mind, folks, this isn't a safety or a cornerback. This is a linebacker.
Does this feel to you like he's having a flashback? Because a lot of these linebackers we see in the NFL, in high school, they were offensive stars. They touched the football all the time. It's like he said to himself, let's go back and put on the leather jacket and go get the football. How about this one? 3 interceptions thus far.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. On play action, Lance. And he will find his man, Samuel. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. And even 30 yards on a play that began back at the 30. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. A shotgun handoff to Mitchell. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the 41-yard line.
Another run with Mitchell. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 89 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. A give here to Mitchell. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Running left, here's Mitchell. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4. And Lance going to throw. And that is incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. Well, the only silver lining on the other sideline, CD, is that they kept him out of the end zone, but still, that's another 3 points added on to this large lead.
Yeah, no shortage of scoring or big plays on defense in this one. And even up by 4 possessions, still finding ways to create opportunities and capitalize with points.
The Rams take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
They'll fake it. Now Stafford. Blitz coming, and down he goes. That's Azeez Al-Shaair getting through for the sack that time. And that'll be marked down as their first sack of the game.
Well, they had 6 last week, and this offense did its homework, didn't it? Because they saw all that pressure, and they really worked hard to tamp it down and beat it back, and they did a great job in the first half. Now they've gotten their first sack here in the second half. Look out, they'll try to increase the pressure.
And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. Now that ground game just continues to struggle to really get any momentum in this ball game, Charles. And I mean, you're at the point here, third quarter, down 4 scores, probably going to have to put it in the air.
Oh, no question about it. So that's your only chance, your only
And my goodness, another interception. Picked by Emmanuel Mosley. Well, they definitely figured out something defensively at halftime, Charles. That's now 2 drives and 2 interceptions here in this third quarter.
And I think the easy thing for us to say is, boy, they made an adjustment, didn't they? Or they showed him something different. I'm not so sure it's that as much as maybe he's just been impatient and forced the ball a little bit. In any event, as you noted, back-to-back interceptions thrown.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
On the counter, Mitchell. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
He's tackled at the 29-yard line. A gain of 4 yards. And a 49-yard first down.
But once again, it's Mitchell. To about the 26 here.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
18 yards that time to push him up, 1st and goal.
At the 8-yard line.
It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Rams 7.
Let's go.
They'll run with Mitchell. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Not a whole lot there on 1st and goal, and that's what you're looking for defensively. You'll certainly live with giving up just a yard or 2 in this situation.
A run with Mitchell. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
They'll try and run. Here's Davis Price. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. This defense bending but not breaking. It's a gain of 3. It's now 4th and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you're 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed, it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see them.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Fred Warner. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
Brought down at the 20.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. The Niners on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 9. On 3rd down, here's Mitchell. And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
When the 4-3 defense is functioning really well, you know who stays what we call clean and no one gets to him? The guy playing the middle linebacker position, the guy we call Mike. That means the defensive front is eating up all the blocks and just let him go to the football and make a play.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Stevens' throw, it's complete into the hands of Higbee. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down. And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a 1st down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Stafford. He'll check this down to Akers out of the backfield. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
Throwing on 1st down. Stevens. And some room to maneuver. A big play there for L.A. And even 40 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
Looking to throw. Stevens. The quick slant caught. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown. But they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Extra point by McCann. Up and good. And that will shave a bit off the lead as it's down to a 23-point game. McCann's got it teed up. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. It's been a dominant performance to this point, Charles, and this is probably exactly how they scripted this and envisioned it. They got a 3-score lead, fourth quarter, and a chance if they run to continue to pour it on here.
It is their call, isn't it? I mean, the way that they have taken on this game and the way that they have carried this game and have dominated this game, you're exactly right. Do what you want down the stretch. We are in the era of, hey, if you don't want us to do this to you, then you need to stop us. Their call to finish this one off.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this fourth quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the fourth quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That's a third down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on third down, that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep with the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. So the victory here for San Francisco. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you could just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover, after turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They told the offense exactly how it was going to go down today. So you saw them deflate with every series, didn't you? Every time they ran onto the field, it was slower and slower to get to the football because they just felt like if we go out there, we're just going to turn it over anyway. So it was really, really a stellar performance.
So for the Niners, it'll be a 500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2.